Hello everyone and welcome back to Wolf Quest 2.7.2, and we are here today with a special side story for the Starry Skies pack. As you guys may remember, you got to determine what Wisp's fate was going to be. Wisp is the sister of Geo, the all-white wolf who we say is with us at all times even though you can't see her, and she's helped kind of lead the founding of the Starry Skies pack. She's a weaker wolf, she has a few health issues, she always has because she was a weak puppy when she was little, and Geo has always looked out for his sister, and Stardancer welcomed Wisp into their pack, and so the Starry Skies pack has always been Geo and Wisp and Stardancer. Well, you guys had to decide what was going to happen to Wisp. It was actually up to you to decide if she was going to stay behind at the den in the forest and just possibly die because she wasn't going to come with us to the summer hunting grounds. You had to decide if we were going to use an ancestor blessing to keep her alive and then end up losing the ancestor blessing that we could have used on the pups, or you had to decide a few other options that were in her straw poll that would determine her fate. Oh, and let's make it night really quickly because we are still under the sorrow of the skies, so we're relying on our moon pack ancestors to help us out here. Well, you guys ended up voting. It was very close, by the way. The votes were so close, I almost wasn't sure what was going to win in the end. But you guys ended up voting by like 1% for the secret side story option where Wisp actually disappeared. Oh, no, there's owls! Where Wisp actually disappeared, and actually we're going to go over to where Wisp is. Into the dark forest for a little while before we headed towards the summer hunting grounds, and something kind of dramatic happened that has resulted in this side story that we are going to be telling. Wisp met one of the druid pack males over there, and they had a brief fling. They kind of fell in love. His family pulled them away. That's why we kind of had to hoof it to get out of the forest before the druid pack ended up attacking us. They're still very upset to have the Starry Skies pack so close to their den. Thank you very much. And so Wisp ended up pregnant, and she's going to have a litter of puppies of her own. But she is still a very weak wolf, probably not the best option in the world to have ended up having a weaker wolf end up with pups of her own. But I thought it would be really fun for Wisp to have a chance to be a mom, and Stardancer and Geo here are going to be the ones who try to take care of her and watch over her and take care of her pups. And after 3 litters of Wisp helping to raise their pups over to the summer hunting grounds, it is now Wisp's turn to have a litter of 4 puppies, and so she's going to have a litter of 4 puppies, and then we will go ahead and see if we can get them over to the summer hunting grounds. I don't think any of these puppies are actually going to count towards being a possible heir to the Starry Skies pack, but it is just a nice little side story. Look at this tree. I'm so excited about this tree stump of all things, just because it's different, it's new, it adds to the ambiance of where we live. Oh gosh. But I just thought it would be really nice for Wisp before she is too old, before she passes away, as Stardancer and Geo and Wisp let down, like, being the heirs and pass the mantle to the next generation. I thought it would be nice if Wisp, after all the work she has done, had a chance to have her own family. So we are back over in the forest. We are actually going to have the same forest den that we had last time. And we are near the druid pack, but they're still very aggressive, and we're not going to get any help from the father of Wisp puppies. But she is once again exhausted and weak and inside of the forest den, trying to recover, and we're going to go and we are actually going to be hunting down some food for her. All right, there's some elk. And I'm wondering if we'll run into a fox, because apparently you can find the foxes during the winter. So I would really... Is that a fox or a rock in the distance? Probably just a rock. Alright, so, alright. Wow, look at the snow! Man, that's so cool. Alright, come on, Geo, help me out here. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. A litter for Wisp. So Wisp is going to have her own litter. I'm probably going to go ahead... thank you, Geo. A little bit of push from behind. I'm probably going to go ahead, and what I'll do is I'll edit Stardancer's skin to being a white wolf so that we can try to represent Wisp's color coats, and then of course I'll change Stardancer back to the proper color, but we'll try to represent Wisp having the proper color coat and everything. There we go. Look at that elk. Let's see if we can take out a couple more. And I don't think we'll be able to take out that many elk this time, because now that the ravens are here, apparently they'll clean up the carcasses, and we might not do as much winter hunting as we used to anymore. With the new ravens coming in. Oh wow, look at the snow, it's so cool. with the ravens that come in to clean up the carcasses, there may not be as much of a point. So we might have just to do some fresh hunting from now on. In fact, I think that there's a bit of a time issue. So today will be the only day we do any winter hunting, but I think there's a time issue because Wisp is so weak and we need to bring her back food, and she's gonna have her puppies any day now. But we will try to make it, I'll edit Stardancer's skin just temporarily so that when Wisp has her puppies, we can try to make them as close in her coloration as possible. And then we will watch after Wisp's little puppies, and we're raising her litter for her. She has done so much work for us over the past several years that the pack has been together. To us, it's only been like 2-3 generations. It's been 3 generations of wolf pups now, but to our wolves, they're very, very old now. They're working their way up into 12, 13 years old. Probably getting quite old for this kind of rough life. All right, come on, Geo. I'm probably ready to just sort of go ahead and, like I said, have the next generation come in. So not this time, but at the end of this litter, you guys will be voting on who is going to be the heir to the Starry Skies pack. And we've got several new options too. You guys are going to have to vote on whether or not, I think, let's see, Geo, if you can hold on to me. I can't get a solid grip, unfortunately. All right, come on, come on, come on. I can get you. I can get you. All right. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because we still have a strong love for Kuma, who is the bear butt biter for sure. And I think he's definitely one of my favorites, but I would love to see some of the other ones that you guys might pick. All right, and we'll head over to the den in just a minute and make sure it's okay. But I'm just excited because now Wisp gets to kind of have her own story be told. Oh, I wonder what sort of names we should pick. Maybe really dreamy kind of names. What do you think, guys? Really dreamy, sort of like wish names. Wisp, wish, hope, things like that. I was running over here to see if this rock had a fox. For some reason I was like, I'm sure there's a fox over by this rock, but so far I haven't found any foxes. Can we actually we can actually go to the secret den. I think we might go to the secret den. Yeah, I think we might pick this den this time. So we're going to say the story is we tried to come over to this den, but the druid pack is very upset because we were here last time and they drove us away. So we're going to go to the unlocked den, the 4th den, because the Starry Skies pack has unlocked it. And it'll be a while before the heirs unlock things, since we're no longer going to just edit the wolves from generation to generation to stack their experience points. We're going to keep them separate from now on, their pack stats separate, just so we can be able to remember what pack members had so many things happen. Look at this! We have almost 100 pup predators thwarted. Oh my gosh. And almost 50 grizzly bears chased off, 1 cougar chased off, never have died, which from now on when we die, we're either going to have to use an ancestor blessing or just say that that wolf is dead. Like if it's the 2nd or 3rd litter, I think it would just be like, oh, that generation's over and we need to move to the next one. But all right, let's go ahead and do another couple rounds of hunting. You're going down. You're going down, elk. Don't you hit my Geo. Geo, make her face the right direction. That was so cool with the snow just churning up. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think this is going to be pretty fun. All right. So we'll have to think of some really kind of wistful. Oh, wistful, that should be a name. Wistful names for this next generation of puppies for Wisp. All right, down you go, elk. And I think it's going to be difficult. Wisp is older, Geo's older, Stardancer is older. And we'll have to decide, would Wisp want us to use the ancestor blessings we got for her puppies, or would she want it to go for the Starry Skies pack? So, But we'll be doing lots of little side stories like this with our wolves just to develop their personalities a bit more. All right, get moving, elk. Get moving. We need to get you closer to the den so that we can say we're feeding you to Wisp, because she's expecting a litter of puppies. Alright, there we go. And we need to make sure that she's going to be okay. So far we haven't seen any more cougars either. Oh look, there's a carcass right there that just popped up. And then we will have to set the difficulty for the year. And it's been suggested by several people that we do different levels of difficulty. Alright, there we go. So we could start with winter difficulty being 1 level. And then we could go with spring difficulty when the puppies are at the den, being another level. And then we could roll for difficulty again when we leave the den. So we could think we could be having an easy year and not do very much hunting, and then end up rolling a bring it on year when it's time to take the puppies over to the summer hunting ground. So I did just roll, and I need to change the settings. So we had arduous last time. So I rolled a 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, it's a bring it on. Really? So it is going to be like a bring it on winter. And we'll make it a bring it on puppy time. And then we'll roll again when it's time to take the puppies to the summer hunting ground. So now we will have varying levels of difficulty every time we're actually dealing with the puppies moving. So we'll have varying levels of difficulty in the winter, and then we'll change the difficulty level when the puppies are at the den, and we'll change the difficulty level one last time. So it'll change 3 times every litter, and that should keep the story really, really, really interesting. All right, man, it's so cool when she churns up snow like that. Good job. Good job, Geo. I know there's a nearby den, but we can't stay at this den because the druid pack is going to chase us away. All right, we'll chase it this way. Is that a coyote? We're going to like trample the coyote. Coyote, I'm coming back for you in a minute. We're going to end up trampling that coyote, and we'll have to do a little bit of scouting around the secret den. In the past, it's given us a little bit of trouble. All right, there we go. All right, Geo, you take care of that. Oh, that coyote is eating our perfectly good carcass. Rude. I'm going to eat this carcass. All right, we'll say we'll take some back for Wisp. And you, hey, you, that's our fresh carcass. Get out of here. With the scavengers coming by, they really do reduce, like, what could happen. Like, they reduce how much food we get from those carcasses. So we have to get this coyote out of here. Because it's a bring it on winter. And it's going to be a bring it on puppy time. All right, and let's go ahead and scout around the den site that we are going to pick for Wisp. So she's already staggered in there. Poor big pregnant, ready to have puppies Wisp is inside of the den that's over here. Up over this ridge side. It's a more difficult spot to stay at than the den we were just at. This Bison Peak Cutoff Den is a lot easier because it's closer to the elk hunting grounds, and the creek den is a bit more difficult because it has a little bit more distance. And let's sniff around here. Ah, Geo! Alright, let's go back to the den. We're gonna hide at the den. Can we get there before the plane gets here? Geo! Geo, help! Geo, it's the plane. I think that Start Answer, after years and years and years, we're gonna keep looking just for now because we're gonna crawl under this bush. Alright, Geo, can you keep an eye on your mate? Can you protect her? Because she's gonna be really upset about this. We're hiding in the bush. Oh gosh. Alright, hey, come on, lay down, sweetie. There we go. So, to the right of these rocks, so to the right where these rocks are, that's inside the den, and that is where Wisp is actually currently curled up hiding. She is ready to have her puppies any day now. Look how beautiful it is here. Oh my gosh. I swear every time they do updates, you can see when the graphics have been tweaked just a little more and a little more. And since we have almost 200 episodes of Wolf Quest, I wonder if we should do something special when we have 200 episodes. Maybe like review all of the wolves that have ever been born in our litters. Oh my goodness. All right. We'll go ahead and make this our den, and we'll start marking it in just a minute. But this is going to be where Wisp is, and this is going to be where she actually is sitting, ready to have her own puppies. But let's go ahead and we'll start marking. Ah, get away from here! Get away from Wisp! You aren't allowed to go near her or her puppies. We're gonna let Wisp know, after all those years and years and years that she has taken care of us, we're gonna take care of her. So get out of here, Coyote. You can't have her puppies. Alright, we'll sniff around a little bit. I see a fallen log. That's a suspicious rock. Let's go pee on this rock. Keep all the cougars away. There we go. Get away, cougars. Get away. And it is very interesting, you guys, because as you know, we have been playing Untamed Life of a Cougar. Ah, there's another rock. Let's pee on it so that the cougars don't come. We've been playing Untamed Life of a Cougar. And let's go ahead and mark on this. And so it's kind of interesting. Another rock. I'm going to make sure no cougars show up. It's been kind of interesting to go between the life of the cougar and then the cougars that show up here in Wolf Quest. And in Life of a Cougar, we actually do end up killing quite a few, like foxes and even a wolf or two and some hunting dogs, because the cougar's trying desperately to survive as well. And it's sort of interesting and kind of fun. All right, anything over here? We've got to make sure all these rocks are safe. Suspicious rocks everywhere. Geo, suspicious rocks everywhere. Alright, this rock looks pretty safe. Alright, we'll come back over here. Start peeing in our territory again. But yeah, it's been quite interesting to play with the different levels of just the circle of life. 1 second we're playing with the wolves, the next second we're playing with the cougar. Maybe we'll have to come up with a way to play as a fox. Ooh, what about doing the fox heart? Or I think that's what it's called, the fox heart series. That was also written by the same people who did Warriors, I believe. And so we might even look into doing that. Maybe we'll do a fox sort of Foxcraft. That's what it's called. A Foxcraft series in Sims 3. So we'll have to look into that as well, you guys. But alright, so I think this territory looks reasonably safe. I think that Stardancer and Geo are not very happy. Where's Geo? Not very happy to be in such a new place. This is very suspicious. It's not the family den that they earned through tooth and claw, being able to fight over at the Saddle Meadows den and get rid of all those bears for the bear curse. And it's not the den that they just raised their puppies, but the druid pack is too close. And this is just the den that they found, the very first den that they found, where... Thank you, Geo. He's helping out with peeing everywhere. The very first den that they found that Wisp could kind of collapse into. So, we'll have to see what her puppies are going to look like next time. We'll have to give them very wistful names, very wistful, hopeful names. We'll have to figure out where the heck the den went. I'm lost again. Oh gosh, Geo. Oh, there it is. This is not going to end well if I can't even find our tree again. And we'll have to make sure we don't run into any foxes and keep away all the cougars. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.